You get a sense of your day, you get a sense of what's going on in your life. It's very, very comforting to have these little tiny, I mean, I have an iPhone and I have all my digital things, but there's nothing quite like, you got one too, there's nothing like a piece of paper to get your life organized. This is what I use. These are called Molespinas. These little nice things you get to at the airport. There's varying sizes, big ones, little ones. All of my talks, all of my presentations are in here. They're actually separated by 15-minute segments. So it's like I'm talking about this at 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, 60 minutes, so I know what I'm talking about. No Word document or tiny iPhone is going to help you really understand like this. So even though you're a digital generation, syncing to paper can be really, really helpful. This is my trusted source. I have all my things digitally, syncing with the cloud and all this good stuff, but I also have this. So find a trusted source that is physical, sync to paper. Did we get that word right? Good? All right. Now, here's another tool I use. You may use OneNote. It's a Microsoft product, but I personally like Evernote. And what's great about Evernote is that Evernote syncs your notes with the cloud. Evernote.com. It has BlackBerry and Nokia and iPhone clients. It has the notion of ink notes, text notes, voice notes, and picture notes. And when you take a picture with Evernote and you stick it up into the cloud, it'll actually, I don't know if it works in Arabic, but with English words, it will actually read the word and make it searchable. So often when I'm parking my car, I always lose my car. So I'll take a picture of where I'm at, like the parking lot and the parking number, and then I can search it later with Evernote, because it actually reads the signs and makes it available for searching. And because it's syncing to the cloud, I can pull it out of my iPhone, I can put it on any machine. There's a Windows client, there's a Mac client, so all of my computers have Evernote, all of my phones have Evernote. Free too. I like free, all this stuff's free. For to-dos, I use a thing called rememberthemilk.com. Remember the Milk is another great tool because it allows you to get the information into it in any way that makes you happy. You can visit the site and type in your to-do, but you also get a special email. So you can email from any phone, from any machine, you can have your spouse email, and it'll show up here automatically. It has plugins for Firefox and Chrome and IE to add notes like that. It has clients for iPhone and BlackBerry and Windows Mobile. So anywhere you are, your to-dos are. So I have my notes in Evernote, and I have my to-dos in Remember the Milk. And I can tag them. And I can even put dates on them, and I get an iCalendar, and I can bring them back into Outlook or Gmail or whatever. Now, remember earlier when I said that it was a really big deal to say items, emails that you are CC'd on are not as important as emails that come directly to you. Let's see if I can back up. I think it skipped ahead. If you search my blog, I've got detailed information on how to do this in Outlook, but I've got a couple of rules here in Outlook. One of them is where my name is in the toolbox. I actually have about 3 or 4. I have 4 inboxes. I've got inbox. And the only time that something shows up in my inbox at work is because someone at work sent it to me, not one of you guys. It means people from Microsoft sent it to me. That's it. That's my inbox. I have another one called Inbox CC. Anything at work that I'm CC'd on goes in there. Right now I've been out of town for a little while, so I've got about 40 items in my inbox. I've got about 600 in my Inbox CC. Imagine if those were all in just my inbox, what that would make me feel like when I got to work on Monday. But do you think those ones where I'm CC'd on are probably as important as the ones that were sent directly to me? Probably not. Then I have another one that's called Inbox External. If anyone who does not work at my company sends me an email, then those go to a separate folder. Because internal items at Microsoft are a little more important than people send it to me. Now that may be the opposite for you. Maybe your job is to interact with clients. So you would have an inbox internal. And those would be internal emails. You need to decide these things for yourself. But this is part of that stack rank process that we talked about, where you need to decide about your flow, what matters to you, and then how you want to process that. So I've got inbox, inbox CC, inbox external, and then I also added one that is a meeting invite. So I have a separate inbox just for meeting invites, because they get mixed up inside of my inbox. I also have a rule for bosses. I've got 3 bosses that I'm going up to someone. So if any boss sends me an email, I make it red. It's simple, but it sure makes it clear. This is a boss email. It lets me make those first. This is the Outlook rules. You can certainly do the same thing inside of Gmail. These are my Gmail rules. I've got items in show ideas and alt.net stuff, JustBlog, Facebook, all in separate places. That way, only emails that are sent directly to me show up. I even have a separate folder for mailers. Mailers are like if an airline sends me a deal or Amazon sends me a mail. Any mail that's sent from a non-person, any computer that sends me email, they go in a separate folder. And usually I look at that folder, I don't see anything, mark all as red. Mark all as red. The other thing that you can do is a thing called life hacks. You know about hacking a computer, you can hack your life. Hacking your life means that you change some part of your life in a simple, clever, but possibly non-intuitive, non-obvious way. My wife and I were having trouble keeping schedules track and to-dos and things, and I would tell her to email me stuff, and she would forget, and that. So one day she came home with a magnetic whiteboard. She stuck it onto our fridge, our refrigerator. Boom. We hacked our life. Now she puts notes, get milk, right there. I take a picture of it, put it in Evernote. But it works for us. It's a small thing. All this stuff right here, this is actually a life hack kit, which is like a survival kit. And it goes inside a pack of mints. You've got a pen and a lighter and a razor blade and some money and some aspirin and lip balm and rubber band. It's your MacGyver. You guys have MacGyver? You know, and you stick it all in an Altoid box and you put it in your bag. Because you never know when you might need one of these things. And you see how I kind of dump my bag up like that. That can be an example of life hack. And lifehacker.com has all of these kind of fun tips for ways to improve your life in very, very small, fun ways. So let's talk about throwing it out. We're almost done here in a second. This guy here, Christopher Hawkins, says, I believe every feed that I follow, every blog that I follow is a lead weight slowing down my brain. So he decided, if it's not helping me get new business, it's not helping my company, it's not helping me make money, or if it's not improving my life in some fundamental way, it's mental clutter and it's out. Defrag his life. That's what this is about. Okay? So in the conclusion, then we'll do a little question. I'm not sure how many, I think I've talked a little bit long. Go through your sources, go through your feeds, audit them, sort them, decide what's important and what's not. Think about scheduling work sprints and turn off distractions. Think about how you're triaging your inbox. Think about the difference between effectiveness and efficiency. And then come up with a personal toolbox. It might be my tools like Remember the Milk and Evernote and those kind of things, or it might be some other tool that you found. But remember, if it doesn't work, find something else. And that's my talk. Let's have some questions. You guys are so quiet and polite. Is that good? All right. I'm all done.